Hello, welcome to Bonniehood Snail Farm. If this is your first time reaching us, kindly like, comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and also check us out on other social media platforms so you can be updated whenever we upload useful videos for your learning purposes. Today we'll be dealing on a very important topic, which is management tips in snail farming. Three major factors determine the success of any snail farm, and which are: number 1, housing; number 2, environmental factors; and number 3, management tips. And for any farm to succeed, all these 3 steps or all these factors must be in place. I have scantily talked on housing on some of my videos: housing for baby snails, housing for adult snails, and all that. But then on this video, I'll be talking about management tips, what you can do to ensure that your snails are okay and doing well. How you manage your snails determine the overall outcome of your investment. If your management is bad, you will have no good results. If your management is good, you will certainly have good results. So the management and environmental factors, they work hand in hand. And then, like I said, the housing, which is the third factor, must also be in place to have an effective snail farming adventure. Management tip number 1: you must ensure to feed your snails at least 3 to 4 times in a week. Proper feeding in snail farming will determine a lot in your snail farm. It will determine the rate at which the snails will grow. It will determine the rate at which they will lay their eggs. It will determine so many factors in your snail farm. So feeding your snails properly and effectively is a success tip that will help you harness your snail farming adventure. So if you must succeed in snail farming, you must feed your snails properly. The number 2 management tip in snail farming is to remove food remnants, especially foods that has the tendency to rot within a short period of time, or any food remnant that has a tendency to invite ants, flies, rats, etc. into your snail farm. Such foods like formulated feed, banana peels, banana fruit, mangoes, pawpaw, and all other fruits or foods that are likely to invite ants and flies, and other kind of foods that does not rot easily and does not invite ants and flies into your farm easily can be kept for 1 or 2 days or even more, depending. Foods like sweet potato peels, sweet potato itself, and so many veggies, they don't rot easily because the pen is moist, and then they don't have a high tendency of inviting ants and other predatory stuff into your farm. Number 3 management tip in successful snail farming is for you to provide clean water always and wash their feeders daily and their drinkers at least 3 times weekly. This will reduce the rate of infection and the rate at which predatory insects and ants will be invited into the farm. This will also reduce the rate at which bacteria, parasites, fungi forms inside the farm. The number 4 management tip in snail farming is to clean the pens regularly and check for holes in the pen to avoid predation and escape of snails. Snails are very smart and sometimes they act very strange. You hardly notice a hole in your farm if you don't put your head and check carefully, but you'll be surprised how they get out of your pen. So, not checking your snails or your pen for holes on escape roads regularly is a big risk that may likely deplete your whole farm. So, please be guided, sit up and do what is necessary. The number 5 management tip for snail farming is to look out for eggs and pick the eggs daily, transfer them to the hatchery for proper incubation. To properly incubate your snail eggs, kindly watch our video on egg incubation. And the number 6 management tip in snail farming is to keep proper records. Record keeping in any agricultural venture is very important, as no proper records is equal to unseriousness. And the number 7 management tip in snail farming is to ensure that there is always moisture in the pen. Very important. No snail farming can succeed without enough humidity in the pen, because the moisture helps the snails to walk effectively. Once the snail cannot walk due to dry out, they will fold and they will die. So the moisture helps them to walk around, the moisture helps them to mate, the moisture helps them to eat, the moisture helps in their appetite, the moisture even helps the snails to lay effectively. So the importance of moisture is something you cannot underestimate for no reason, because once the moisture has been shortchanged, your snail farm is at risk. I've also made another video where I talked about how to care for baby snails. In that video, I mentioned several factors that could lead to mortality in snail farm, especially baby snails, and also several factors that could help the snails to survive effectively. And there I talked a lot on the humidity. So please kindly watch that video as a supporting video to this to learn more about this topic. Snail farming is not as difficult as the way most persons are saying it. If only you can obey the simple laws. To me, they are very simple laws. Once you obey these laws, the snails will survive. Once the snails survive, their egg laying wouldn't be an issue. So please, every simple tips you learn from this video, take it very serious if you really want your snail farm to survive. The number 8 management tip for a successful snail farming adventure is to ensure that there are always enough planting leaves or mulching materials in the farm to maintain the moisture and the cool nature of the farm. In as much as farmers are trying to raise snails effectively, they must still understand that most of the principles of snail farming are still gotten from the understanding of studying the snails in the wild. The snails in the wild love hiding under leaves, under planting trees, under fallen trees, rotten wood, under sacks and things around in the forest. They just want to keep cool. They just want to stay under something that can help them maintain the moisture and keep them cool. So the farm must have to understand that chemistry and do as much as possible to mimic such environment for them to survive and do effectively. So this is the essence of the mulching materials in the farm, to help them feel at home and do effectively for us. And again, plantain leaves has been massively used, plantain or banana leaves, but in the Bonniehood Soilless snail farming systems which we have created, we neither use plantain leaves nor banana leaves nor soil. We now use different materials. We farm snails without soil, and then instead of using plantain leaves or banana leaves that you have to sterilize over and over due to the stress, we have taken away that stress and we use sack bags and other materials. So please, we also made a video in respect to that. You can also watch that and learn more about this. Lack of mulching materials can also kill your snails, because the advantages of mulching materials are also very, very high. They help to maintain the moisture of your pen. They help the snails to hide. They encourages the snails to lay egg. It helps even the snails with appetite. It does a lot of things for the snails. So it is very important. If you don't have that in place, you are not ready for snail farming. Please, you must have enough mulching materials for the snails, because in the wild they do have so much of it. So you must also make sure to meet up that limitation in the farming system. Wash the buckets weekly if you are following my recommended BBS method for baby snails. BBS means Bonniehood bucket system. That's a system of snail farming which I've created using buckets or drums to farm baby snails, specifically for baby snails. It's very effective and has a very low mortality rate. I've already made a video on that, so please watch those videos carefully and learn how to use the bucket to raise your baby snails to reduce mortality. And also, we are training interested farmers who are having issues with mortality of their baby snails. We can train you, teach you, and also mentor you for some months to ensure that you effectively raise your hatchlings. So you can reach us on that too. The number 10 management tip for a successful snail farming is to ensure that there is enough calcium supplements in your farm. Always, we always recommend oyster shell or clam shells for adult snails and eggshell for baby snails. In this way, the adult snails will do effectively and also the baby snails will do effectively. Eggshell for adult snail does not give as much result than the clams or the oysters. And the same way, oyster given to baby snails sometimes or most times truncate their shells and destabilize their growth system. So the eggshell is perfect for baby snails. So taking note of that factor is also very essential for having a successful snail farm. Please, if you are new to this channel, like, comment on our videos, and also click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we upload YouTube videos. And also subscribe to this channel and follow us on Soilless snail farming tips for more of it. Thank you for watching.